Okay, so we are here this evening to celebrate the holidays. Hopefully, everybody is safe and well. And this is going back to our tradition of the first Santa Paws event. So I'm going to try this again because I actually don't think anybody heard the trivia question the first time around. So hopefully now we've got people watching, and we've got some people on here. Okay, first trivia question here is, what year was Arfarf's first Santa Paws event held? Doesn't look like we're getting any responses. Okay. Doesn't look like we're getting any responses here. But the first session was in 2012. The first Arf Arf Santa Paws was in 2012. So that was the first. That was the first Santa Paws event. And at the first Santa Paws event, we gave away some of these adorable little keepsakes here, which were right here. These little keepsakes, which were little candy cane dogs, and they were with pom poms and the little pipe cleaners and the little googly eyes. So we here at RFR are all about DIY. And so, Karen, if you'd like to walk us through really quickly, walk us through the how to make these for everybody.
Well, I'd love to. This year we're doing something special where we wanted to share some something memorable that's happy about 2020. So, what better way to do that than maybe make an ornament with your pet's paw imprint on there? And this is used with pantry items. This is created with pantry items in your own stove and some um, things you maybe have in the house, like some ribbon and paint and glitter, things like that. A lot of fun. So basically, you're going to follow our steps that we provided for you on this presentation. You're going to take 1 cup of flour, 1 cup, 1/2 cup of salt, 1/2 cup of water, and you're going to mix all of those things together, and it's going to make a dough. And you'll need that dough. Basically, you're going to roll it out just like if you were making cookies. These are not cookies. Believe me, even though it's flour and salt and water, it should not be eaten by anybody, especially your dog. But anyway, you're going to also preheat your oven to 200 degrees because these are going to slow cook in your oven for about 2 hours. When you are done with this product, you will then have the ability to paint it or to put glitter on it, whatever you want to do. But the initial experience was to put a print of your dog's paw right inside that dough right before you put it in the oven. I put it on the cookie sheet and I flattened it out. And then what I did was I put my dog's paw right in it just to give it a little indentation. And she actually let me do it the first time. I got those in. And if you have a dog that doesn't want to do that, that's fine. You could do something else with it. You could paint it, you could put their name on it. I gave you some examples of what it will look like at the end. And the one on the left is the dog print. It has been painted a little bit just to show the indentation. And the ones on the right show an example of maybe you just want to put the dog's name. Or I was saying, when I was making this, what a nice thing to do with a child too. If you have a child in the house, perhaps you want to make one for them and your pet. And what a nice gift to give to, say, grandma, um, or maybe, just to have for yourself. Because I think, like, when it comes to this, it's something that in 20 years from now you could look back and say, wow, I remember that happy time with that dog. And we all know that 2020 hasn't been the happiest year, but we all know that I think a lot of us have probably had a lot of bonding with our pets this year. I know my dog has been my best friend this year because I've been working at home since March, and she and I have pretty much been the only two of us in the house. So I know that it's been a very emotional year for a lot of us. And anyway, this could be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's it's actually a lot of fun. Sometimes the dogs don't like to do them, but I've also seen people do this with paper. Getting the
Yeah.
dog's paw print on paper, and doing some nice calligraphy with their name. That's another
So
way
nice.
to, maybe not necessarily for the holidays, not necessarily. We could keep that up all year round, or some other little types of keepsakes. I know our our pets love gifts during the holidays, but I think it's not just because it's the holidays. I think it's because they love to see the appreciation. And with that, we actually have a very cute little poem that Rocky had put together. See if I can find it.
Oh, that sounds great.
Rocky had a very, very cute little poem. And Rocky, take it away.
It's not all about presents laying under the tree. Trinkets made of gold mean nothing to me. It's not all about money. What joy can it bring? It's being wanted and loved, not material things. Possessions can't hug you or give you a kiss. Holidays with loved ones is what I miss. Presents are just temporary. Their joy is short-lived. Only love and loved ones are the greatest gift.
I don't know about you, but I thought that was a really cute little poem. And it's true. Our pets don't really care about don't really care about the material things. To them, it's all about bonding. And I think maybe Luna's sitting right behind you, wanting to be near you right now. Um,
Absolutely.
but there actually is a very old tradition. It's not really a new thing to give presents to animals during the holidays. Another trivia question that we have here is, according to some traditions, giving animals treats and gifts during the holiday will allow them to do what? There's a very specific thing that happens during the holidays in some old ancient traditions, myth. And does anybody know what that is? Let's see if we have some people who know. who know
Or
what
just
that
want to
could
take a
be.
guess?
Okay. Doesn't look like anybody knows. It will allow them to speak during the midnight hour. So
Oh,
during the
great.
holidays,
I'm sorry.
giving things and treats and gifts to animals will allow them to speak during the midnight hour.
Do we really want that?
Well, I guess if we're sleeping, then it doesn't really matter. Sometimes I really would love to know what my dog is thinking or saying.
Oh, I think
Maybe for
we both know what our dogs are saying. I think I think that's what's funny about our pets is that we really do become in tune with their language, don't we?
I think so. I think bonding with them, they speak to us, I think, but we
Yeah.
are so heavily reliant on vocal language. I think that we don't necessarily always pay attention to every little signal that our pets necessarily give us. Which I'm going to write that down as an idea. Maybe we could have um, maybe see if we can have a dog behaviorist join us for one of the future sessions to talk about
Oh, we know
animal
one.
language. Um,
That sounds like a great idea.
I'm just writing down a note here for next year's sessions. So I think talking about including our pets in holiday traditions, it is very we have our pets around with us during the holidays, and whether or not everybody wants to have whether or not you have a big family or it's just a couple of people over, especially right now, everybody's trying to be very compliant and social distance and celebrate the holidays safely. I think there might be some important tips for all the pet owners out there. So I'll just put that up right here. This is from the American Veterinary Medical Association. I put this out, and it's really kind of some of the basic stuff, but I think it covers no matter what holiday you celebrate. It covers basically all the everything. Food. Keep the people food out of the reach. The regular stuff: chocolate, xylitol, grapes, raisins, onions, other types of toxic foods that we pretty much all know about. The big ones. Don't leave your pet alone in the room with any lit candles, especially the holidays. Are a time for candles. A lot of different celebrations use candles. Decorations, potpourri. Everybody likes to have the house smelling nice during the holidays. And so, maybe consider if you have a Christmas tree with tinsel, maybe not the best idea for the cat. Something interesting: hanging lemon-scented car air fresheners in the tree may deter your cat from climbing it. I don't know if that really, I don't know if it's true or not, but if it came from the Veterinary Medical Association, it's definitely worth a try if you have a cat who's constantly trying to climb your trees.
You can't underestimate those cats.
Yeah, they can be crafty and wily. Um, so the same thing goes with the holiday plants too. Holly,
Mm.
mistletoe, lilies. Those can be really toxic, not just for dogs but also cats as well. And then providing a safe place for your pet to kind of escape the excitement, especially if you have little ones who are super excited on Christmas morning to open up those gifts from Santa. Can cause a little bit of stress, even though they know, even though they know the child. There's a lot of excitement and a lot of things going on. So, maybe try to keep them, give them that safe space that they can go to whenever they want. Karen, any other tips that you might think of for the holidays?
Boy, you really covered a lot. I mean, it's hard to remember a lot of, I think that I've always had an animal at Christmas time. So it's kind of second nature to not worry about these things. But there's a lot of people that are going to have a first time Christmas this year. I mean, I've gone to the park and a lot of folks got a dog this year because during COVID, it seems like there's been a real increase in adoptions, which is terrific. But it really strikes a note to say, wow, some of these things that you and I may have known all our lives about the tree, about the ornaments, about things like that. Um, Pets get into all of these things, and you don't even realize the amount of dangers that could be right in the house. I mean, it's pretty strange to have a live tree in your living room at any day, but now you have this dog that's looking at this and going, what the heck is this tree doing in this house? It may even cause him or her some stress and anxiety. So try to keep that into, for instance, he or she may urinate in the house because now there's a tree and that might be causing some stress. There's just a lot of different things going on at this time of year, and we do get preoccupied, and maybe we don't even realize that when we put 20 different gifts under the tree, that dog may lift its leg on the tree, or it may get into the packages, or the low hanging ornaments that might be made of glass. So I think a lot of people don't realize these things, especially if you're new at this. So please feel free to reach out to us at RFARF, and we'll be happy to help you with any tips.
Yeah, I know. When my dog Loki was alive, he was a little Doxador. He was aptly named Loki after the god of mischief. And
That was
he
definitely him.
he was such a sweet dog. He was such a good dog, but he had his moments. And if you turned your back on him for a minute, it's like a little kid. If you turn your back on him for a minute, but he had, even in his good moments, like he had this tail that he had the Labrador tail. Even though he was a little guy, short little stubby legs,
Adore. Yeah.
dachshund body, but he had the lab tail, and that tail got into everything. It would knock everything over. So we actually didn't put any ornaments on the bottom of the tree because we knew if he
That's
hit
a
those
good
bottom
tip.
branches, yeah,
Yeah.
and it was, just him. He saw you come into the room, and all of a sudden the tail would start going, and then all the ornaments would be flying all over the place.
And that goes back to the candle situation too. Holy cow, wouldn't that be awful if a cute little sweet dog burned your house down because his dog was just wagging? Think about it. I'm not trying to be funny, but it happens. And we all know that
Yep,
it wouldn't
exactly.
be fun.
Which is
So,
partly why the which is why we added the mention about the candles,
oh
potpourri,
yeah. I
the
mean,
potpourri burners,
yeah,
everything, anything that can get knocked over, especially if you have a cat, the cats like to jump on top of everything. Because they like to be as high up as possible. I'm not much of a cat person, but I do know that from watching Animal Planet, and that's about as far as my expertise on cats goes. But
right. Well, you could have a dog that's gentle and slow, old, and that dog could walk by and brush something, and you might have walked into the other room. And it's like having a little kid, especially because it's like I said earlier, it's almost like your house is in a different mood. It isn't the same. It's a different environment at the Christmas time. And as it should be, it's a special time of year to decorate and things like that. But it probably does provide a little bit of stress for an animal, cat or dog.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think too, like it's just one of those. It's one of those times where um, you like to think you kind of have to think about your dogs or your pets even as small children. So if you wouldn't leave the small children alone
Definitely.
with your candles, if you wouldn't leave a small child alone with the presents on the ground, or you wouldn't leave a
Yeah.
small child
Yeah.
alone with with plants. You wouldn't leave them alone with anything. So even though you have an older dog, if especially if they're new and you've recently adopted them and you're not quite sure what their personality is, like I know my bigger dog Brutus, my dog who's still with us. He's good. I can pretty much leave him alone. He wouldn't get into anything. But Loki, on the other hand, there were you did have to watch out for him because he had that curious nature, that kind of curiosity in getting into things or accidentally knocking things down with his wonderful tail. Anything else as far as holiday gifts, treats, toys? Are you getting Luna anything fun for the holidays?
She hears everything. Well, as a matter of fact, I have to get her toys because um, I don't I don't think it would be fun if I didn't include Luna in the holidays. I mean, it's me and her, you know? So I have a subscription to BarkBox. So what I did was I just hid it and I put it aside so I don't have to have another gift.
Did she ask Santa Paws for anything?
Um, well, she does ask me to take her out every single day. She does ask for treats every single day. So pretty much those things are going to be on our list. She really had fun at the park the other day. I don't know if you were able to any of you were able to go to the park. Um, it was a lot of fun with the snow on the ground the other day. Um, there's been a lot of people at the park. We've been having a good time, even though um, we have a lot of room in the park to be social distant. So she's very happy going over to the park, and I think we're going to try to go over um, during this week. If it warms up, it would be great.
Yeah, I know when Brutus was younger, he's a little bit old now.
Yeah.
So he's not as good at the park anymore. But just can't. It doesn't really have the stamina for it anymore.
Right. Right. It does.
Yeah.
It does
So
happen. Some
but
dogs
he
can't.
loves
Mhm.
the snow. The snow is probably
Oh,
if we were able to still walk there. If he was able to still walk there, I think we would. I think we would go
yeah.
there more often during the snow. But he loves rolling around in it. That was probably his favorite time to go was when it snowed. Especially that double coat didn't doesn't really feel the cold and the snow. So yeah, there's plenty of room at Freeway Dog Park, so plenty of room for social distancing. We still ask, everybody please still wear a mask. But there is lots and lots of room, so you don't have to worry about whether or not you can keep 6 feet away from somebody else. There's lots of room, and there's actually separate sections in the park, so you can still, even if you wanted to, stay in your own area, or you're not really sure how your dog is going to react to other dogs, especially if you're coming to the park for the first time. There's actually, you don't even have to go into the main part of the park, though. You can go into the small section of the park, and really kind of let your dog run around, get a feel for it without having to necessarily worry about the other dogs, and kind of get your dog acclimated to it first. Um, so the holidays are a really good time to do that. A really good time to spend together. Speaking of
Definitely.
treats and toys, Rocky has a message for everybody. So I'm going to play that message now.
Thank you for joining us this evening. We hope you had fun celebrating with us. I want to continue the holiday cheer. So send me a letter at arfarfrockaway@gmail.com and I'll send your pet something special. No matter what holiday you celebrate, I'll be sure to get it to them. I hope you have a good one.
So if you send, no matter what holiday you celebrate, please send an email to arfarfrockaway@gmail.com. You could send it from yourself, or if your dog or pet would like to send it to Rocky, I am Santa Paws' helper, and we'll make sure that Rocky gets those letters, and we'll make sure that that Rocky is able to send out a special little treat for you. Speaking of holidays, the month of December is also known as what? Let's see. As far as December is concerned, it is known as the world of holidays. The world of holidays. Yeah. There are actually at least 18 holidays celebrated in the month of December, and with 12 of them being religious. So something interesting. So there's, no matter what you celebrate, Santa Claus is here for everybody. So to spread a little bit of holiday cheer, send those emails out to arfarfrockaway@gmail.com, and we'll make sure he gets that your pet gets something special. It doesn't have to be a dog; it can also be a cat. We have plenty of people who have more than one type of pet. So if and Santa Claus is a friend to all pets, as we are all here at ARFARF. One final question. Speaking of all different types of animals, one final trivia question that we have here are, what other types of animals pull Santa's sleigh? So not every culture and not every region has reindeer pulling their sleigh. So does anybody out there know what other types of animals pull Santa's sleigh?
I'm thinking of one, but I don't know if I'm right.
What do you think it is?
I think moose. Can't hear.
Turn my microphone back on. There we go. So one of them is in Australia. His sleigh is pulled by kangaroos. There's a holiday song about that. Santa Claus comes and visits Australia, and they're instead giving the reindeer a break because it's too hard for them to pull the sleigh. He dresses for the weather, and his sleigh is pulled by kangaroos. And then there is a Scandinavian tradition, and very popular, that Santa's sleigh is pulled by goats. So Yule goat is actually is a popular thing in Scandinavian cultures. Let me see. Do I have any other interesting facts and trivia here this evening? Let's see. Oh, here's another one. Speaking of sending things in the mail, I know Rocky is looking forward to sending all the pets some holiday treats. But why are robins a common holiday decoration, especially in greeting cards? So I'm not seeing anybody. Nobody? Okay. Wow, I guess I got some really hard trivia questions this evening. But the robin is a popular traditional greeting card animal because it stands for the postal workers from Victorian times. So they would wear red coats and they were all called robins. And so it's kind of a throwback to the postal workers who used to send, in Victorian times, who used to send out all the holiday greetings and the treats and the toys that were sent through the postal service. So with that, I don't have any more trivia questions. Karen, you have anything else before
No,
we close out?
just everyone have a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year. And I'm so grateful for all of our, I'm grateful we have each other in our group. I think that the park has been a nice escape for a lot of people, and I hope that we'll have a lot of really happy things to look forward to in the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And want to wish for everybody who celebrated their holidays earlier. Happy Hanukkah to those who celebrated,
Happy Hanukkah.
and to all the other holidays that celebrated earlier before we were able to have our broadcast. Um, and for those of you who also celebrate after New Year's, there's lots of holidays that happen after New Year's as well. So want to wish all of you a happy holiday as well. Hope everybody stays safe. Please make sure to to practice your social distancing as hard as it might be this holiday season. And just want to wish everybody a very joyful, very restful holiday. If you have any ideas, we are looking to constantly improve. And I know tonight we had some technical issues, so really appreciate everybody standing by for that as well. And hopefully we will have ourselves in better shape for next time and next year. But we are getting the lineup for next year set. So if anybody has any ideas, any suggestions, I know I wrote one down this evening. I wrote one down, and we do have a couple that are coming in, so we're going to try to get them lined up for next year, especially with all the new people at the park. And all the new dog owners in Rockaway. We want to make sure that everybody has access to to information and to a lot of services for your pets. With that in mind, guess we will close it out with a video from our first Santa Paws event back in December of 2012. You can find this video and other videos from ARF ARF, ARF ARF events past and ARF ARF events recent. All the virtual events, you can find them on our YouTube channel, ARF ARF Rockaway. But we'll close it out with that and have a very happy holiday and a happy new year, everyone.